Straight ahead on 12 News, he may be tiny, but he has a big fan club. Meet the pint-sized puppy who's warming hearts in Maple Grove. But first, from land to the lakes, 4th of July celebrations that can turn tragic in an instant. 12 News starts right now. Right before the 4th of July holiday, there is a close call at an indoor pool in Brooklyn Center.
A 3-year-old girl was attending a birthday party Tuesday evening at the Melrose Gates Apartments. She was in the pool when someone spotted her underwater and not moving. Someone pulled her out of the pool and administered CPR. The girl was taken to North Memorial Medical Center as a precaution. Authorities, however, say she is doing well.
The fireworks are fun to watch, but they can pose dangers to people and pets.
12 News reporter Carissa Wyant has some tips for keeping your 4th of July celebration a safe one.
Fireworks are a part of the fun of the 4th of July.
$6 for those.
Here at T&T Fireworks in Brooklyn Park,
You can buy one and get one.
people are stocking up
$39.96.
ahead of the holiday.
And let me get you a bag for that. It's a celebratory thing, right? It's a chance to make a loud noise, make a lot of light, and people will excuse you for a while.
In Minnesota, it's illegal to buy fireworks that shoot into the air, but smaller fountain-style fireworks are okay.
They're really noisy.
Still,
In case you were wondering.
experts urge caution.
So that's that.
Just because they're legal, they aren't safe.
Fireworks injured 55 people in Minnesota last year, including many children.
Kids get injured most often, and most commonly those injuries will be to their face and hands.
To ensure safety around fireworks, experts say parents should never let children play with or light fireworks. Read all instructions on fireworks packaging. Keep a safe distance from lit fireworks and have water and a cell phone on hand to call 911 in case of an accident. The 4th of July can be dangerous for pets too. More pets are lost on Independence Day than any other day of the year. Experts recommend keeping them on a leash, making sure they have their ID tags on, taking them for a long walk before sundown on the 4th of July, and then keeping them indoors with music, television, or something soothing on.
So one morning glory.
Back at T&T Fireworks, business is steady.
I think generally people want to put on a little show for their kids or for their relatives.
Just be sure to exercise caution so your Independence Day celebration is happy and bright. Reporting for 12 News, Carissa Wyant.
More fires are reported on Independence Day than any other day. Fireworks are responsible for half of those fires. And on this holiday weekend, there's also an important reminder about water safety.
As Sonia Goins reports, near drownings happen more frequently than you may realize.
Nothing like taking a dip in the pool on a hot summer day. But all the fun and excitement can quickly turn into an emergency.
I've had 19 saves in my career.
Erica North is the head lifeguard at the Elm Creek Park pool. She says lifeguards can't be the only ones on the lookout for danger.
We try to do our best, but it also really helps if parents do keep an eye on their children.
And that's important when you consider drowning is the #1 cause of accidental death for young children.
I make sure that he stays within eyesight of me. I always have a fear of my kids drowning.
Besides keeping a close eye on your children, there's some other things that you can do to keep them safe, like using the touch supervision method. That means you're within arm's reach of your child at all times, and there's safety in numbers.
Well, we brought a life jacket. Otherwise, I'm here with some other parents too, so it helps coming in numbers.
We want to make sure he doesn't go too deep in the water.
But sometimes even those precautions are not enough. Experts say many children drown even when a parent is around. That's because parents often become distracted, often talking on their cell phone or reading a book. It's not hard to get distracted. We saw a number of people reading or on the phone while their children were playing in the water.
I do, and I'm trying to get better at that, but especially here, I don't. I make sure that I'm not on my phone the whole time when I'm here.
But I try not to text or go on any of the social media websites and stuff while they're in the water.
Ultimately, it's up to the parent to keep their children safe in the water.
Again, parents and guardians, please watch your children closely at all times.
In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
The Red Cross also recommends that young and inexperienced swimmers wear a Coast Guard-approved life jacket. Brooklyn Center Police played a role in arresting 2 suspects after a high-speed chase early this morning. Police tried to pull over a vehicle traveling eastbound on 69th Avenue in Brooklyn Center. The speed limit on 69th is 35 miles an hour. Police clocked the vehicle traveling at more than 80 miles an hour. Brooklyn Center Police backed off of the pursuit after getting a description of the suspects, and they were eventually arrested in North Minneapolis.
There's no longer any water restrictions for residents in Golden Valley, Crystal, and New Hope. All water systems are back up and running after crews repaired this 36-inch water main that broke in Robbinsdale last month and created a giant sinkhole. Meantime, road repair crews around that sinkhole continue. County Road 81 southbound is back up and running, and city officials expect 42nd Avenue and County Road 9 will be open by Robbinsdale's Whiz Bang Festival on July 11th.
This 4th of July will have special significance in Golden Valley.
I think we're very lucky in the sense that we get to work with the U.S. District Court and the Immigration Service to celebrate July 4th in a way that we are recognizing and celebrating not only the past and present history of America, but frankly, to celebrate the future of America as well.
Thursday morning, Golden Valley City Hall will host a naturalization ceremony. 30 people from a number of different countries will fulfill their dreams of becoming American citizens. These ceremonies are usually held in larger venues, but a group called Global Golden Valley played a large role in getting the ceremony to come to the city.
We're just all very excited to not only experience this ceremony ourselves, but to welcome some of the people who will be becoming new U.S. citizens. And our hope is that perhaps there might be a Golden Valley resident among them.
The event is free and open to the public, and Mayor Shep Harris hopes it can be the start of an annual 4th of July tradition.
July 3rd also marks a historic day for our country. It's the 150th anniversary of Union soldiers defeating the Confederate forces at the Battle at Gettysburg. A group of about 90 Minnesotans, including some from the Northwest Metro, are marking the 150th anniversary in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania right now. Major General Richard Nash of the Minnesota National Guard retraced the steps of the 1st Minnesota troops, and he met up with Alabama's Major General at the spot where the troops battled. Coming up, the importance of backing up your computer files.
12 News Money Savers sorts out your options coming up next. Then later in sports, we catch up with local college athletes in our new series, The Next Level.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast.
It happens to everyone. You spill coffee on your computer or lose a flash drive, and precious photos and documents can be gone in a second.
Recovering them can get expensive, not to mention cause a lot of stress. Today in Money Savers, reporter Shannon Slatton shares ways to protect your data.
If you've ever lost a document or a file, photos from your hard drive, you know just how frustrating that can be. Ryan Hobus, an IT consultant, is here to talk about how important it is to back up your files. And Ryan, you say the time is always now.
Yep, absolutely. You know, typically in your computer you have a mechanical hard drive, and this is a mechanical piece. So, you know, things go wrong, parts fail, electronics cook, and you look at people with flash drives. It's a chip, it's a board, and this stuff will fail.
Will go bad very quickly. Yeah. So where do you recommend you should back up your files?
Well, I've always told people you make a backup and you make a backup of your backup. So typically you'll use something like an external hard drive. Those cost in the range of $100 to $200 to be able to back that up. And the standard for small business has always been tape backups for years and years and years. So, and that's typically how they take care of that. Nowadays, there are cloud options which backs your data up to the internet, and I typically recommend having a kind of a hybrid solution where you have the hard drive to back it up, and then you also have it backed up somewhere else, so that in the event of a weather event, a catastrophic thing, that's going to be gone, but at least it'll be backed up somewhere else for you.
And what price are you looking at as far as the cloud backup?
Usually it's in the range of about $50 to $150 per year, depending on how much storage you need, how much you know, what the different options you need are. So,
now, what if you don't have your information backed up, something goes bad? What are you looking at as far as cost for retrieving those files?
Yeah, to recover a hard drive, a data like this, you're looking at probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000 to $2,000 to recover it. Flash drive is going to be a little bit less, you know, but certainly in the hundreds to, you know, probably up to $1,000. It really depends on how much data you have to recover, how badly the device has failed. what went wrong, is it something that they can do quickly or does it take a lot of time?
So yet again, it's one of those things where it's just important to be prepared.
Yep, absolutely.
All the time. Ryan Hobus, thank you for joining us. We hope everyone goes home, backs up their files and those photos so they aren't lost. And now we'll send it back to you in the studio, Mike and Alex.
All right, thanks a lot, Shannon. Coming up, the pint-sized puppy that's melting hearts in Maple Grove.
But first in sports, get set for holiday fishing with a tip from fishing pro Terry Tuma. Jay Wilcox has that and more when we come back. So what happens to high school athletes after they graduate from high school? Some of them you hear about, they go on to the pros, but that's very few, and some of them you don't hear about again.
Yeah, it's easy to sort of forget them or get lost in the shuffle a little bit when they go away to college. Even if they stay within Minnesota, a lot of times you sort of forget about them. Yeah. We're going to try and change that a little bit this summer. Covering high school sports is a big part of what we do here at Channel 12, but a lot of the athletes we cover move on to the college level, and we often lose track of them. This summer, Jason Melillo catches up with some men and women from the Northwest Metro who are continuing their athletic careers in college. On our first installment of The Next Level, we profile St. John's University seniors Seth Marx and Nick Meyer.
Seth Marx and Nick Meyer have now been teammates for more than 6 years.
Being able to, play with one of my best friends for that long, and we really know each other's games really well. So if I've got the ball in my hands, I always have an eye, in the back of my head to know where Seth is to be ready to find him for an open shot.
Marx of Maple Grove and Meyer of Plymouth played together at Benilde St. Margaret's, winning a section title as seniors in 2010. Marx and Meyer both credit Red Knights head coach John Moore and a string of talented teammates with helping them develop as basketball players.
Darren Glover, Peter Crawford, both are at Division II schools right now playing, and Nick, same thing, and then with all the underclassmen who are all at Division I schools right now. I always looked up to the guys in front of me, like great players like Mike Delorier and Jordan Taylor, and then it was, just really fun to get to play on such a good team that we had with, various guys who've made it to play in college, like Seth and then Peter Crawford and Darren Glover, and even the guys in the younger classes now who I see are playing like big-time Division I ball.
After high school, Marx moved on to St. John's University, knowing that was the right place for him to continue as a student athlete. Meyer took a more indirect path to Collegeville.
In high school, actually, for my senior year, I had a serious back injury, and that limited me to only being able to play the last, I'm not sure exactly how many, I think it was like 10 games of the high school season. And at that time, I was making my college choices, and it came down to St. John's and play basketball, or else go to Madison and just go to school. And I didn't think I'd be able to play college ball just because from what the doctors had told me and stuff. So I decided to go to Madison.
But Meyer's back started to feel better, and he wasn't ready to give up basketball. He talked to Marx and decided to transfer to St. John's.
The coaches kind of told me to keep in touch with him if you ever want to come back, because I knew it was a tough decision for him to give up basketball that first semester. But when he came back, he talked me the whole first semester up at school, freshman year, and I was really happy when he decided to come to Collegeville.
Good teammates and good friends are hard to find. Seth Marx and Nick Meyer's time as teammates will come to an end next winter, but hopefully their friendship will endure. Jason Melillo, 12 Sports.
Marx and Meyer will both be seniors at St. John's this coming fall. The Johnnies finished with a 12-14 record last season. Well, a local Little League team played deep into the night to capture a championship. This is the last out as the Robbinsdale Mets outlasted the Golden Valley Cubs 9-5 in 9 innings to win the 10-year-old A-Minor Classic Championship. The Mets prevailed in a 37-team field. Congrats to them. Using the right crankbait in the right depth of water is a key to landing that big fish. Terry Tuma is out on the lake and explains in this week's Channel 12 Fishing Tip.
We as anglers fishing for walleyes, fishing for bass, we must understand the vibration factor, the depth, and the speed. First of all, with any type of fishing that we are doing, crankbaits or not crankbaits, doesn't really matter. We have to be at the right depth and the right speed. The right depth meaning the strike zone of where these fish are at. If we're off 2 or 3 or 4 feet, many times if you've got a tougher bite, you're not going to catch those fish. Let's just talk about crankbaits though. The vibration factor, every crankbait, depending on the size, the profile, the lip design is going to produce a different movement in the water, which is going to trigger these fish. And you can see here we've got X-wrap, we've got a glass shad wraps in 2 different sizes. Also a jointed shad wrap, which is going to provide a different type of movement in the water. And once we get this sort of figured out, if you will, then we should really consider using different colors, different trolling speeds if we're trolling or retrieving again, as we talked about just a couple seconds ago. But then too, should I use rattles? Shouldn't I use rattles? And here again, we have to experiment. Don't always get hung up on using rattles and crankbaits. Many times it can be a negative, especially in bodies of water where there's a lot of fishing pressure. Maybe we should consider using non-rattle crankbaits. Give it a try. I think you're going to be very, very impressed. So it's going to be the speed, the profile, the color, the vibration factor, and the vibration is due to the lip design again, and also the depth. Be sure to experiment with your crankbaits. You're going to have some fantastic fishing throughout the summer. And be sure to release some of those fish.
Thanks, Terry. And Terry will be back next week, of course, with another tip.
All right, thanks, Jay. We'll be right back.
I think everybody who lives in Minnesota is lucky to be here. I think these lakes are such a gem.
But what's it take to keep them that way? There seems to be more threats to lakes and rivers now than ever. We'll look into those problems and dig for some answers this weekend in a 12 News special Focus on Water. You can watch it starting Thursday right here beginning at 4 o'clock. Well, have a sweet tooth and love animals, then check out a local cupcake shop this weekend.
On Saturday, Nadia Cakes in Maple Grove is donating a portion of its proceeds to help a tiny stray puppy get the surgery that it needs to survive. Reporter Cassie Bonstrom has more.
It's hard to look at this pint-sized puppy and see anything but cuteness.
He's a little puppy.
But Danger, the 1.4-pound rescued stray, needs a life-saving surgery.
The liver isn't doing its job. The blood is bypassing the liver. It's causing a delayed growth and other neurological issues with Danger.
Enter Nadia Cakes. They're helping the animal rescue group Secondhand Hounds raise the funds for Danger's surgery. It's expected to cost more than $5,000, but without it, Danger's not expected to live more than a few months.
Each pupcake, which is a cupcake made just for dogs, sells for $2.95. On Saturday, they're giving $1 from every pupcake sold to help towards Danger's surgery.
Absolutely love animals. Had to do this for the dog.
Abby Jimenez says her store has done fundraisers before for rescue animals, and they've been wildly successful. They're hoping once again those with a sweet tooth will come through.
Come get a cupcake. That's it. Tell your friends. That's it. And in the end, you give someone back their life.
In Maple Grove, I'm Cassie Bonstrom.
And after Danger gets surgery, the rescue group hopes to find him a permanent home.
He's so little.
In the palm of their hand.
Really?
That does it for us. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great weekend, everyone.